Right then, here we are. Those happy days, van build. A lot of pressure, but I think I've got it. I'm going to run you around rough plans so far so you can get an idea of where we're going, what we're doing. Things are probably going to change slightly because things always do change slightly. But on this wall here, you might be able to see there's lots of things written on this wall. These here are roughly where the windows are going to be. Window and window. 2 windows on this side. This is where the kitchen unit is going to be. Across there. Possibly all the way over there, but we need to leave some space so they can get out of that door. So kitchen unit to roughly this line here, and then that will be a seat. Just a single seat there. Bed comes out to around here, this line. Full king size bed. It goes all the way across there. Then on this side is going to be seating area to about here, roughly, which is this line here. So then you'll be able to have a double seat along there, a single seat there, and then a table in the middle, which will also fold down, which will make it an L-shaped sofa or a bed, potentially. Between these 2 lines here is roughly where the wood burner is going to go, and then straight up through this panel here. Also on the same panel where this X is where the max air fan is going to go. Between these 2 panels here is where the solar panel is going to go. One solar panel is going to go on the roof. This panel here is where the max fan and the chimney are going to go out, and then the next 2 panels or where there's going to be another solar panel. We think that we're going to get roughly 700 watts on the roof. I think that is about right. Towards the front of the van, which is where the bed is, on this panel here, this is where the SkyMax air fan is going to go, which is a roof hatch that opens out so they can get onto the roof. And they're going to have, in the front 2 panels, they're going to have some sort of roof deck there so they can sit out on the roof in summer. And also it's an emergency exit should they need it. Not that they will need it, because we're having no emergencies. Over this side here, behind this door is going to be a full-size shower, which then the wood burner is going to sit next to the shower, and then it's going to continue. Now, the order that I'm going to do this in is I'm going to take all this, the old slider, roll the shutter door, brackets off, all this kind of stuff, try and strip it out, try and get rid of some of this without damaging anything, hopefully. Another big job is getting through to the front. So I'm going to have to cut out a hatch here, then go through the other skin into the cab because they're not joined, and then we're going to seal that up so that they can get through. At the moment they've got a double seat. I'm trying to persuade them to buy a single seat rather than trying to butcher the one they've got. Liam, we know you've got money, come on. Buy a single seat, get it in there so then they're going to get through into that area there. By gum. Anyway, first off, let's get stripping out. It's time for a time lapse. So that is the roller shutter brackets taken off ceiling both sides, and all these trims are off. Now these are bonded on, but I'm going to see if I can get them off. I just don't want to do any damage to the walls, but if not I can insulate over the top of that without too much problem. So actually these came off a little bit easier than I expected. However, these end ones actually bolt from the outside of the van. I don't want to start messing about with the outside of the van, cracking paint and all that kind of thing, so they can stay as they are for now. I'm just going to get the grinder and grind those rivets out. So that wall is clean, that wall is clean. It's now ready to be stud walled and insulated. However, I want to go through there next, so that I know that that job is done. Then we'll work on insulating. We'll insulate the floor after that. Right, so on here, you may be able to see, I've now marked our door. So that is going to come out. That is gone. By Felicia. The issue is now I've got to go look on the other side to see where that. Well, I've already looked. I'm going to show you what it looks like on the inside. Again, jump out of here. It fucking hurt my knees. Right. So this is the gap that I was talking about. So that's the gap between where I've just drawn the door, and then this is the cab here. Liam's gonna pull his finger out and buy a proper seat. Oh, look at that, that's fancy, isn't it? So once I've cut through, there's then a rubber seal that you can buy, which is up to 7 inches wide, and it's got 2 tracks on it. So you can put one side on this, and then one side on the inside, the other skin, and it will bridge that gap. We can seal that all the way around, and that will completely sealed. But then we're going to box that in as well, so you're not going to see the rubber seal. That's going to be on the inside. So this is going to be a wooden frame that goes all the way through, so you'll not notice the seal or anything like that. So you'll just see the wood going through, and that will mean that they can get in and out through from the driver's side, passenger side, which is one entrance and exit. The skylight that is going above here, above the bed, is a roof hatch, so that is another exit. You probably don't want to come in that way, but you can go out that way if you want to. And then obviously they're going to have the back door here as a way out. But both back doors are going to be able to be opened, so the whole front, apart from where the shower is, the whole front will be able to be open. So if they're at a nice pretty place, they can sit out, they can have the sun coming in, they can have the wood burner on if it's cold and keep them warm while they've got nice views and fresh air and all that kind of thing. So this is, although it's an ambitious project, it's actually going to be incredible when it's done. Right, so it's day 2 on the build. Got a load of timber for the floor, and then bought some king span. I'm going to insulate the floor. Well, I'm going to board the floor out, timber it out, and then put the insulation in. I've not got the plywood yet. Didn't have enough. There's not a lot of room in my Land Rover for wood, so I'm going to concentrate on getting that hatch through today, and then we're going to order some more parts. Well, I believe that solar panels and all that kind of stuff have been ordered. Sound deadening needs ordering. Just a lot of ordering stuff. So the next job is to take this passenger seat out so we can get to this bulkhead, and then we're going to chop this bulkhead out. I mean, the window broke, but you know my track record on breaking windows. Well, what matters is that the seat is out, so technically it is completely unbolted. It was a nightmare to do, but I did it. There we have it. Now, as soon as they get rid of that double seat, you'll be able to get through there. Now, I've made this entranceway bigger than it needs to be, because there's going to be a seal that joins the 2 sides together, and then we're going to board that out with wood as well on top of that. So it's going to be a lot smaller than that when it's finished, but for now, that's the way it is. But we can get through there, which is what they wanted, and whatever they want, they get. So I've now swept the entire floor. I'm going to frame the floor out now with the timber, ready to put the insulation in between that. And then tomorrow I'm going to go back to Wicks again and buy the plyboard it out, so then the floor is 50mm insulation. Then whilst I'm there tomorrow, we're going to start on the walls, insulate the walls exactly the same, the timber. We're going to glue the timbers to the wall. I say we, it's just me. So, end of day 2. I'm losing light now, but the floor is insulated. And the hatch is done. Well, not done. It's not done. The hatch is through now. So you can actually get through there into the seat. There you go. Day 3. Today I'm going to put the ply down. Just been to Wicks and bought all that stuff. I'm going to put the ply down, get the floor done. And then I bought the insulation and timber to start on the walls. So the floor is now in and secured down and solid as a rock. Solid as it can be, anyway. So now, well, I'm actually going to start on this side. I'm going to batten down. I'm going to cut the battens first. Batten down and then put insulation in between. And then that's just a surface that we can screw the finish to. It's not going to be holding any weight or anything. Maybe when we put cupboards up, there'll be places to mount cupboards too. The plyboard will come all the way up to this top level here, and the ceiling will come over the top of that, over like that as well, to hold it all together. Right, so I've glued all this up. I'm just going to leave that until tomorrow. Hopefully the glue is all dry by then. And then I've got the Reflectix to go on over the top of that. And then when it comes to putting the clad finish on, which is what they've asked for, that'll just screw to these battens here. Next job, I'm going to try and tackle the bed. So I'm going to measure out the bed, frame out the bed, and then see how far it comes out. Show you where we are. See how far it comes out, and then frame it all out. So we're going 5 foot wide by 6 foot 6, which is probably what the width of the van is anyway. So I just need to come out 5 foot. What I'm going to do though is I'm not going to measure 5 foot from the very back. I'm going to measure in a bit and build a frame that is roughly square. I may chop the corners off a little bit around there, but for the most part, I want it to be square. And then I can screw that to these battens as well. I can strengthen everything up, and then I can start to build a frame around this and all that kind of stuff. It's actually quite a warm day in Barnsley today. Hopefully by the end of tomorrow though, which is the end of the week, because I'm only doing 4 days a week on this, I'll have both walls insulated and a bed frame built. Well, there you go. The floor is done also, so some good progress for 2.5 days work. So I jumped ahead a little bit, just been busy doing the actual work, but both walls are now insulated, and there's a bed frame and also starting to frame out where the insulation is going to go on the forehead, let's say. But this gives us an indication of how far the bed steps out above into the living space, which is more than I thought it was gonna, but this is a full king size bed. Because Liam likes to complain about his backache and all that. We've got to make it comfortable for him, haven't we? But we get towards the end of day 3 and we've got a stripped out van, a hole through there, fully insulated walls and floor, and a bed frame. 3 days. I mean, I'm not trying to blow my own trumpet here, but I've done alright. Done alright. Day 4. Plan today, first of all, is to clear all this mess up. Look at the state of that. Liam is a dirty boy. Now the thing that I ordered from campervanculture.com is this. Now this is the seal that is going to go between the rear and the front. So I've cut the hatch out, so now this is the seal that goes between the two. So as you can see there, it just clips on like a normal seal, but then it's concertinaed, so it stretches up to 7 inches. Now we only need about 2 to 3 inches, but how cool is that? What an amazing thing that we found. Just what we needed, but thanks Campervan Culture. So this wall is just about done. However, I've just dismantled some of it because I wasn't happy about how it met back there. So now I'm working on how we're gonna get this wall, right? Working out how we're gonna get this wall to meet that back wall and still look good. Okay, so I had to dismantle it again, but I've put all that together now. I dismantled it because I wasn't happy with the shape. Bear in mind I've got a clad the back of there, so I'm squaring that off so it's easier to clad. It'll look so much better like that. And it gets rid of that curve across the front. So that curve will be full of insulation. The bed area will be toasty warm all the time. All the lines will meet together. So next week, first job is to crack on with this wall. And I think I may have enough cladding actually. I think I've used around 10 packs, which is about 200 quid. At least 200 quid, I would say. But again, for a full wall, I suppose it's not too bad. That is progress for this week. I am done for today, done for this week. I'll be back Monday. Now, go follow Those Happy Days. You can see their channel. It is a brilliant channel. We're going to be collaborating on this for the next, well, probably at least a month, I would have thought. So make sure you subscribe to me as well if you're not already. Subscribe and all that kind of thing. And I'll see you soon. Thank you for watching, thank you for showing interest. Let me know your feedback if you think I've done anything wrong, if you think that I could change anything, if you've got any good ideas about what we could do inside. Let us know in the comments. I'll see you soon. Bye, Felicia.